Copic just came out with their first new marker in 26 years. This is the Copic Acrea. These are their new acrylic paint markers. They come in 24 shades. They are a fine plastic tip, which is great for details. Let me just show you what I did with these. I just printed out this sketch that I did a while ago. I'm just going to use this as a quick little test of these markers. This is a cute little wizard frog doing wizard frog stuff. So let's see. For the paper, I just used this 5 Below watercolor pad. Actually pretty good considering. Okay, I concentrated too much on the art for the rest of the time to talk about these markers. So you're just gonna get time-lapse art with me down here in the corner, hanging out and talking to you about these markers. So I have quite a few thoughts about these markers. Some of the pros are that these markers are very comfortable to hold. The barrel is like the perfect size. This barrel kind of reminds me of like a Copic chow marker, not the sketch thicker one, but the chow marker. I like that they have the color on the cap and also right here, so if you store them upside down, you'll be able to see which color you are picking, because I think with these markers, it is better to store them this way so the ink doesn't all get stuck in the bottom. It has a really nice shaker thing inside to mix up the paint. They are super, super opaque. As far as I know right now, they are not going to have refills for these ever, but I heard that they are going to eventually sell these individually. So if you do like one of these colors and you happen to run out of it, in the future you will be able to buy an individual marker of whichever color you want. And I'm not sure if they're going to expand their color range. I hope they do, because the color range is kind of limited right now. There are only 24 different colors right now. In my opinion, these markers are pretty expensive for what they are. They're very similar to the grabby markers where they have the plastic tip, which is amazing for detail. Amazing. If they didn't send these to me, then I would probably not buy them myself because they are out of my budget, but I think that these will probably hold up really well for a long time, and if you can buy individual colors, that might be worth it. Another thing with this line of markers that I do not like is the fact that they do not have different sizes of tips, because this tip right here is great for what it is. It's for details. I found myself struggling to fill in large areas, which is not really the purpose of this marker. It's not really the marker's fault that I chose to do something that really tested the limits of it. I can't really fault the functionality of it, but I do wish that they had more tip sizes like Posca, where they have like thicker tips or brush tips. It's easier to cover bigger areas with something like a brush tip, for example. The formula of the paint inside of this is amazing. It's insane. It's very opaque. Even some of the yellows were super opaque, which was pretty surprising because yellow can be a little bit difficult to make very opaque. So I'm impressed with the opacity of them. I am excited to learn how long these last. I hope they last for a while. I hope there's a lot of paint in there so we get good use out of them. I'm going to continue to use these, and I will let you know when I start running out of ink. Another con about these markers is that the plastic tip, while it is great and amazing, perfect for details, so great, you can get a little bit of splattering if you use it on a more textured surface like a canvas, for example. If you go slow and you're mindful about that, then you can really minimize the splattering, and it's not really a huge issue. But if you're kind of someone that wants to draw with these fast on like a textured surface, I would definitely keep that in mind and be careful, because you'll get splattering everywhere if you do that. A pro of these markers is that they layer extremely well. When the first layer of this art was dried, it was extremely easy to go back over this with the color on top of it and not have to worry about it doing anything weird or reactivating the ink underneath it. Once it was dry, it was fine to draw over it again with a marker, which I did with this metallic one, and I really like the way that turned out. These colors, again, have been so impressive to me. The ink inside of this, these are magic. They did send me this empty mason jar that is just plain, so I could paint on this with these markers. I'm excited about that. Please let me know if you guys want to see me make a video about using these markers on this glass. I think that would be a cool video. And then they also sent these coasters, which they are really cool too. I really like these. These are cute. I don't know what I'm gonna draw on them. You guys should give me some ideas for those too. If you want to see a video about these, give me some ideas, because I have no idea what to draw on these. One big con of these markers is that you are not able to see how much ink is inside because of the solid barrel. Unlike this one right here, this is a grabby one, you can kind of get an idea of how much ink is inside of this one because it is clear. That could be helpful if you are getting ready to start a piece and you're like, this is going to be a big area and I don't know if I'm going to have enough ink inside of this to use it. I should pick a different color. Whereas with this, you're just kind of going in blind. There's really no way to tell how much ink is left in here. So what are my final thoughts about these markers? I love them for what they are. They are limited in what they can do, but that's not really a fault of the marker. It's just the nature of the plastic thin fine tip. Would I buy these myself? If I had unlimited money, yes, I would absolutely buy these, all of them. I think they're really good for what they are, and I'm really excited because I do not know of any other marker with this kind of plastic tip that allows you to purchase one marker like as a replacement. Even though I do have some other brands of paint markers that are similar to this with the plastic tip that I do really like, it can be a huge bummer if you were in the middle of a art piece using one of these and your marker ran out of paint, and then you're just out of luck because you have to buy a whole new set just to replace that one marker when you don't need to replace all the other ones. So that is a huge benefit for these markers. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys are interested in these markers. I'm really excited that I got to try these out. And if you are interested in these markers, there is currently a code going on that's for me. It's PunkyDoodle10. It should give you 10% off for the next 90 days. Let me know if you guys are gonna get these markers. I would love to know. Bye-bye.